ready to go live. So go live. And I am live. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another hard hitting episode of the Callous Mind Talking Head livecast. This is episode 16, and I want to start this week's episode by wishing everyone a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays and belated good tidings to those that celebrate Hanukkah. Whatever you celebrate, may it be the best one yet. Uh, After NFL Week 15, the playoff picture is now more clearly in focus than it has been. Let's review my Week 15 NFL picks and make our picks for NFL Week 16. Just a reminder, I do this show every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Live viewers are welcome to participate in the show by commenting in the live chat. Those watching the replay are encouraged to leave a comment. So without further ado, give me one moment and we can jump into the results of Week 15. They were actually pretty solid, so I'm pretty happy about that. But there is one pick in particular that I need to bring special attention to because I did change a pick midweek, and I did that for a very simple reason, and that's because I found out some information that I needed to know. Would have liked to have known earlier in the week before I actually made the pick, so I did rescind and change a pick, just so y'all are aware. And but anyway, starting off. NFL Week 15 pick results: 12 wins and 4 losses. Thursday night started the way my Thursdays usually go, with a loss. The Raiders lose the game and they lose Derek Carr, which invites additional conversation, which we will get into a little later in the show. So that game was a loss for me. Saturday went well for me as both Buffalo won and the Packers won, and those were both of my picks. And then Sunday, the Bucks, man, I was really super nervous in this game, but the Bucks did pull it out, and that did mean a win for me, so that is fantastic. The Cowboys, I thought they were going to run away with this one, but the San Francisco 49ers had other ideas and they didn't let them run too far, but the Cowboys did get the win at home against the 49ers. Next game up, Lions and Titans. I had picked the Titans in that game, and that was a win for me. Texans and Colts. This game was probably closer than I thought it would have been, but the Colts did get the win. And then continuing on with Sunday, the Patriots and Dolphins. The Dolphins did get the win at home, and that's kind of what I expected. And here Miami is in the thick of the playoff hunt. So, and the Patriots continue their down year, which is kind of satisfying to me because I'm not a huge Patriots fan. I can certainly respect what they've done, but I still have harsh feelings about the Tuck Rule game, and I will continue to have those feelings until the Raiders win the Super Bowl again. So that's just me. Bears and Vikings. The Vikings certainly made it interesting, and I did pick them to beat the Bears, but the Bears won, so that was a loss for me. Seahawks and Redskins. This is the game with an asterisk next to it, and this was the pick that I rescinded because when I picked Washington earlier in the week, I was under the impression that Alex Smith would be starting at quarterback. As it turns out, it was Dwayne Haskins. And I changed that pick, and subsequently that got me another win because the Seahawks did win. And I just have a good feeling that if Alex Smith had started that game, I think Washington would have had a better chance of winning. But he didn't, and Washington loses. So Jaguars and Ravens, that's a pretty lopsided score. Not a real huge surprise there. This next game is a pretty big surprise. The Jets go on the road and win. Man, how about that? Getting their first win of the season against the Rams, boy. That was a slap in the face. I had picked the Rams. I'm not so concerned about my loss in that pick as I am joyful that the Jets are still playing ball, man. You know, even though they've had a down year, they're still playing, and this game proves it. So they go on the road and get the win, and that's congratulations to them. And then the Eagles and Cardinals. This was another very interesting game. I'd pick the Cards like I always do because I'm a homer, but the Cardinals did what they usually do. They start off on fire and then kind of drag ass to the finish, and they did that again in this game. But luckily enough, they held on, and they get a very, very important win in the playoff hunt. Kansas City Chiefs and New Orleans Saints could be a Super Bowl preview, but the Chiefs eke out another win. Doesn't matter how close the score is. All you got to do is get that W, and they did. And they keep on winning. The Chiefs are now 13-1, and the Saints fall to 10-4. And then on Sunday night, the Browns and Giants. Man, the Browns, they continue to play good football, and I've already told my friend Jason that if the Browns make the AFC playoffs and the Raiders do not, then I will pull for the Browns because it'd be kind of nice to see them this second coming of the franchise. It'd be nice to see them advance into the postseason and make some noise. And then on Monday night, this is exactly what I thought would not happen, but lo and behold, it does. The Steelers go on the road to Cincinnati, a Joe Burrow-less Cincinnati team, and promptly lose. So I remember I was just telling a rideshare passenger yesterday that I didn't think that, you know, and I'd said that in the previous video, that I didn't think the Steelers would lose 3 in a row if the third in a row was at Cincinnati, but they proved me wrong once again and go on the road, and that's a hideous, hideous loss for them. And I think that probably puts Buffalo a little closer to getting that 1 seed, so that's very interesting. I don't think that very many teams want to go to Buffalo in January and play. That's just my opinion. But if I was a team going to Buffalo, I'm not a huge fan of the cold, and usually that's a pretty big home field advantage, so I wouldn't be crazy about going to Buffalo in January to play football. All right. So that rounds up NFL Week 15 picks. And I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and jump in here to some stories because I want to talk about the Raiders situation and the Eagles situation as well. Things are becoming very, very interesting quarterback-wise, much more so than they have been. And so I think it's a good idea to kind of talk about that stuff now before we get too far into Week 16 picks. This first story I want to talk about is a story I saw from December 20th. Sources: Carson Wentz not interested in backup role, will want to leave Philadelphia Eagles if Jalen Hurts remains starting QB. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Carson Wentz is not interested in being a backup quarterback and would want to move on from the Eagles if the current situation with Jalen Hurts starting under center continues in Philadelphia, sources connected to the team told ESPN. Although the Eagles' quarterback situation remains fluid with 2 games left this season, Wentz is not pleased with the way events have unfolded in the organization, according to sources. Oh, he's not pleased. Eagles coach Doug Peterson has not said whether the quarterback switch is permanent, but player and team sources told ESPN's Chris Mortensen last weekend that Hurts will remain the starter this season, and that was before Hurts authored a breakout performance Sunday in a loss to the Cardinals. Philadelphia's decision to bench Wentz for Hurts has garnered the attention of other teams around the NFL, with some expected to inquire about Wentz's availability in a trade, according to sources. So, I have my own commentary, which I want to interject here, which is Carson Wentz was the benefactor of a quality backup quarterback in Nick Foles when Nick Foles led the Eagles to win the Super Bowl. Now, he probably didn't like that very much, but the reality is if the poor play hasn't bitten Wentz in the keister, then it's been injury that has not allowed him to complete an entire season, and now it's poor play. And I hate to break it to you, bro, because I know that you're getting paid a lot of money, but the reality is that when you get paid a lot of money, there's automatically high expectations on your back. And if you can't fulfill those expectations or team desires, then you will get benched for the next man in line. And that's just kind of the way sports is in general, or any job. I mean, you want to put somebody in there who's going to succeed or give your team the best opportunity to succeed. And if that's not you, that's unfortunate, but it's kind of tough cookies. I mean, that's just the way things are, my man. And your contract makes you next to untradeable. So you might just have to bite the bullet and deal with it and try to get your job back in training camp starting next year or something. But I don't blame the Eagles at all for wanting to see what they have in Jalen Hurts. I mean, the reality is, sports fans know that frequently a quarterback switch is a shot in the arm to teams, and they just start playing better. They start gelling better, and if Hurts obviously possesses skills that Wentz does not, as far as being able to move the ball with his legs, then I would say that he probably gives Philadelphia a better chance to win than Wentz does right now. And whether that's a confidence issue or whatever it is, it kind of doesn't matter. And feelings be damned, these teams are going to do what's good for the team. And you, as a player on a team, should realize and really applaud that. So you shouldn't be down. You shouldn't be butthurt. You should say, man up and say, look, I played like crap. I understand the change, and let's see where it goes. And you're still making your money for right now, as the time being. So we'll see how that goes, but that's going to be an interesting development as things progress and transition in Philadelphia. But who out there is honestly surprised that Carson Wentz is not interested in being a backup? Yeah, no S, Sherlock, no S. And then I wanted to talk about Mariota because, as I already said, Derek Carr was hurt, came up lame in the game the Raiders just played on Thursday that they lost to the Chargers. Quarterback controversy. Marcus Mariota just happy to contribute to Raiders. So this from December 19th, Henderson, Nevada. Quarterback controversy, question mark. What quarterback controversy? Sure, Marcus Mariota's debut for the Las Vegas Raiders on Thursday night's 30-27 overtime loss to the Los Angeles Chargers gave the Raiders offense a decidedly new look. Mariota's willingness and talent to extend plays with his legs and bring a new dimension had the Raiders on the precipice of victory after Derek Carr left late in the first quarter because of a groin injury, but as Mariota himself said, he is not trying to take Carr's job. This is Derek's team, Mariota said, after his first significant action since October 13th, 2019. For me, I just try to come in and help these guys get a win. Derek is a great leader and somebody this team can look to. It was cool for me to get to experience playing again after not playing for a while, and have his support, have Coach John Gruden make the transition a little easier for me meant a lot. I thought it was the reason we had some success. So this is something that, as a Raiders fan, I'm very interested in this outcome because I know that Mariota wasn't super successful with Tennessee, and he ended up losing his job. But he does bring another dimension when he's back there. And, if he could cut out those interceptions, as could Derek Carr cut out those interceptions, then that would be terrific. But if you look at it money wise, a smart money decision may be to say goodbye to Derek Carr and keep Mariota, because I think Derek Carr is still set to make like $24 million next year or something to that effect, and 2021 is a contract season for him. So that's kind of another interesting dynamic. Now, I want to say that I love Derek Carr, the person. He seems like a genuinely good and hardworking man, so I'm rooting for him. But I don't know. If I had to pick between Derek Carr or Marcus Mariota, I may have to go with Mariota. One, because he's cheaper, and one, because I think that he's a more dynamic playmaker than Derek Carr is. But then that raises the question, you know, I know Mariota runs a lot. He may take a lot of hits. Then who do you get as the backup to Mariota? Because, if he's going to be hurt, then it kind of defeats the purpose of having of not having a good backup. But the Raiders are paying big money for a backup quarterback. I think that's somewhere in this article. Bear with me a second here. Yeah, here we go. The Raiders have been taking heat for the massive for a backup QB contract he was given. Mariota is making $7.5 million this season, and his lack of involvement. But Gruden said Mariota's play Thursday night put an exclamation point on why the Raiders signed him. Mariota, the 2014 Heisman Trophy winner at Oregon and number 2 overall pick of the 2015 NFL Draft by the Titans, was supplanted by Ryan Tannehill last season. So this, that dollar figure, $7.5 million this season, that's interesting compared to Derek Carr's $24 million. And as the Philadelphia Eagles proved, and other teams have proven as well, having a quality backup quarterback can be pretty damn important, especially if you get into the playoffs, which the Raiders aren't going to the playoffs this season. But a few years ago when the Raiders made the playoffs and Derek Carr was hurt, they flopped immediately because their backup quarterback was shit. So having Mariota there, it's a nice safety net if nothing else. So. All right, so let's get to those coveted NFL Week 16 picks. Yeah, baby. Can't believe it. Week 16 already. All right, so NFL Week 16 picks are as follows. Minnesota at New Orleans on Christmas Day. I will take New Orleans to bounce back at home against the Minnesota Vikings, because now New Orleans is still kind of playing for their seeding life in the NFC. So I think that they win that game because they need it a lot more. On Saturday, December 26th, you got Tampa at Detroit. I will take Tampa on the road at Detroit. San Francisco at the Arizona Cardinals. This is a tough NFC West matchup, and the Cardinals really need this game. They won the first one against San Francisco way early in the season when the San Francisco 49ers were much healthier. And I think this game is no different. I will take the Arizona Cardinals at home against the San Francisco 49ers. Miami Dolphins at the Las Vegas Raiders. Anybody who's watched any of these shows knows that I'm a huge homer. I'm a Raiders fan from way back. A big reason I'm a Raiders fan is because I'm older than football in Arizona. So I've been with the Raiders from Oakland to Los Angeles to Oakland to Las Vegas. And with that being said, I believe the Miami Dolphins probably will win this game, but because they certainly need it more. But I'm not going to count out the Raiders, and I'm especially not going to count out the Raiders with Marcus Mariota at quarterback. So I will take the Las Vegas Raiders at home against the Miami Dolphins. Sunday's games start with Atlanta at Kansas City. Atlanta all year long, you don't know what you're going to get from them. They're going to hang up some points and then subsequently give the game away. It seems like that's what they've been in the habit of doing. But Kansas City's just good, and it doesn't matter whether they win by 10 or 1 as long as they get the W, and I believe they will do just that at home against Atlanta. Cleveland at New York Jets. Don't sleep on those Jets. They are still playing hard, but Cleveland really needs this game, and I think if the team understands how bad they need this game for the AFC playoff picture, then they're going to go in there and bust their ass to get that win, and I think they do just that. So I will take Cleveland on the road at the New York Jets. Indianapolis Colts at Pittsburgh Steelers. This game just got a lot more interesting as Pittsburgh has now lost 3 games in a row. And I think their fans are probably ripping their hair out right about now, thinking, oh my God, you guys waited till the wrong part of the season to start losing. I'm going to give Pittsburgh the benefit of the doubt that some of that home cooking will be just what they needed. So I will take the Pittsburgh Steelers at home against the Indianapolis Colts. Carolina at Washington football team. This pick is contingent again on Alex Smith playing. If he does not start this weekend, I will likely change this pick again. So stay tuned to my Facebook page. And I always leave a link to that Facebook page in the description box below this video. But for right now, as things stand, I'm hoping Alex Smith will start. And I'm assuming that. So I will take the Washington football team at home against the Carolina Panthers. Chicago Bears at Jacksonville. Chicago needs this game badly to continue to stay in the playoff hunt. And I think they'll get this win at Jacksonville rather handily. So I will take the Chicago Bears at Jacksonville. Then New York Giants at Baltimore Ravens. I think the Baltimore Ravens are kind of on fire right now. And they really need to be if they hope to stay in the playoff hunt. So I will take Baltimore at home against the New York Giants. Cincinnati at Houston. The reality of this game is I think it's a lot more interesting than it would have been. I mean, Cincinnati's coming off of a big win against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I will give Houston the nod because they are at home. So I will take the Houston Texans at home against the Cincinnati Bengals. And then the next game up, a battle of the AFC West. The Denver Broncos visit the Los Angeles Chargers. And the Chargers just beat my beloved Raiders in overtime, which I think that's a load of crap. But, I can't really sleep on Denver because they're able to score some points. But I'll give the LA Chargers the benefit of the doubt at home, and I'll take the Chargers at home against the Broncos. And then Philadelphia at Dallas. I think this game is much more interesting because Jalen Hurts is playing and he's playing well. And, Philadelphia is still trying. So I think Philadelphia goes to Dallas and wins. So I'm taking the Philadelphia Eagles on the road at the Dallas Cowboys. Los Angeles Rams at Seattle Seahawks. Ooh, boy, an NFC matchup and an important one at that. I think Seattle wins this at home, probably relatively easily. It should be cold up there in the Pacific Northwest, and I don't think those Los Angeles Rams are going to fare well in that cold. So I'll take the Seahawks at home against the Rams. And then Tennessee at Green Bay. I think this is a really, really interesting game because normally running attacks like the one Tennessee features are better in cold weather. But Green Bay, they're a professional cold weather team, so I will take Green Bay at home against the Tennessee Titans. And then on Monday Night Football, I think Buffalo is clearly running away with the AFC East. So I think Buffalo goes into New England and wins this game handily because the weather would never be a factor either. And this seems to to be Buffalo's year to win the AFC East. So I'm taking the Buffalo Bills on the road at the New England Patriots. All right, so let me see what other stories I got over here for you guys. Let's see. Yeah, this story from the NHL. NHL Players Association reached tentative deal for a 56 game season that would begin January 13th. So that's pretty interesting. Um, this from December 18th. The National Hockey League and its players reached a tentative deal on Friday to hold a 56 game season in 2021 beginning January 13th, pending the approval of each side's executive board and Canadian health officials. So this is good. It'll be nice to have hockey back, and hopefully, with the deployment of the vaccine, we'll start getting to see fans in seats again and start getting to attend some sporting events. And this is another hockey story. Washington Capitals Henrik Lundqvist out for upcoming NHL season with heart condition. So that's sad news. This from December 17th. The next chapter of Henrik Lundqvist's NHL career is on hold because of a heart condition that will prevent him from playing for the Washington Capitals this season. Still very hard for me to process all of this, Lundqvist said in a video posted on social media by the Capitals. And kind of shocking, to be honest, calling it a pretty tough and emotional day. The longtime New York Rangers goaltender who joined the Capitals this offseason said he had been undergoing various tests on his heart for several weeks. After lots of discussions with doctors around the country and finally receiving the last results earlier this week, I unfortunately won't be able to join the team this year, Lundqvist said. Lundqvist, 38, thanked the Capitals in another post on Twitter, saying, "I will take the next few weeks to be with my family, and I'll be back to share the next steps." This offseason, Lundqvist agreed to a one-year deal with the Capitals worth $1.5 million after a 15-year run with the Rangers. He became an unrestricted free agent in a crowded field of goaltenders. So, sad. I hate to see somebody's health prevent them from playing, but hopefully they can get that resolved and he can resume his playing career. And then I spoke about this Tony La Russa DUI in a couple of episodes early on, and I just wanted to put a nice bow on that stuff as it looks like there has been a conclusion. So this from December 21st. Chicago White Sox's Tony La Russa resolves DUI, pleads to lesser charge. Chicago White Sox manager Tony La Russa pleaded guilty to a lesser charge to resolve misdemeanor drunken driving charges stemming from his arrest nearly 10 months ago on a freeway in Metro Phoenix. The 76-year-old pleaded guilty to reckless driving Monday in Maricopa County Justice Court. La Russa was sentenced to 1 day of home detention and fined nearly $1,400, and he is required to complete 20 hours of community service. La Russa was arrested on February 24th, but the charges were filed on October 28th, 1 day before his hiring by Chicago. In a conference call Monday, La Russa said, "The anguish that I have felt for 9 months, I will never forget. I brought this on myself. I know it. I feel deep remorse and I regret over what I did. It's impossible to explain how daily and deeply this gets to you and has bothered me for a long time. Obviously, I displayed bad judgment that night in February. I'm grateful to the White Sox for standing by me." He said he was angry at himself and his goal is to prove. Before it was proving myself on the field, now I have to prove myself off the field as well, he said. Lawrence Kazan, La Russa's lawyer, said his client underwent alcohol counseling after his arrest. That shows Mr. La Russa is taking this matter very seriously and is also indicative of the remorse he feels for having gotten himself involved in the matter. All right. Well, anyway, that's a nice bow on that, and He didn't kill anybody, but I think this kind of reiterates a two-tier justice system. If this was you or me, I don't think that we would have had the opportunity to plead to a lesser charge, but maybe that's just me. But the reality is, this guy who could afford a lot of fines and all that stuff only was fined $1,400. So I call that just another example of a two-tier justice system. Say what you want, but that's my opinion. So, all right, all right. So we're ready to review comments. Adam, no takebacks on picks after the fact. Oh, it wasn't after the fact, bro. It was before the game. Vegas breaks the leg on that nonsense. Haskins just beat Big Ben. Jets are dumb for getting a meaningless win and possibly losing the number one pick. I don't know. I mean, they're still playing hard though, man. So that winning a game, that was going to happen, I think. Also wanted to say the Ravens Browns game last week was amazing. Lamar clearly was in the locker room on Twitter. Oh my God. Oh, here we go. It's ironic that he was in the locker room taking the Browns to the Super Bowl, only to run back out of the field trying to keep the Browns from getting to the Super Bowl. If the Eagles want Nick Foles back, let me speak on behalf of the Bears fans and say they can have him for for a pack of Big League Chew, strawberry, and a mop bucket. Oh my God, that is fantastic. Leave it to Adam, man. Really? So you want to give up on Foles already, huh? Well, maybe they'll be looking to try to get him back. Once they trade Carson Wentz to Indianapolis or something like that because he restructures his deal. But I don't know. I think Philly, even if they trade Carson Wentz, I think they're still going to take a huge dead money cap hit. So I don't think they'll be able to do anything right now. I think they'll have to wait at least another year. So this may be a drama that we see unfold over the course of the next calendar year plus, year and a half. So we'll see what happens. Well, I think that's about it for me. I do want to kind of round out the show by saying once again, thanks everybody for watching live. Thank you, Adam, for participating in the show. I want to wish everybody out there a very Merry Christmas. Please be safe. Be good to yourselves and each other. Make sound decisions. And I will talk to you next Tuesday, December 29th. So it'll be after Christmas. But I hope you guys have a blessed one. I hope you all have more than enough to eat. And always more than enough to be grateful for. And until next time, I'll talk to you beautiful viewers later. God bless.